2, 1.
Go. All right, I call to order the regular meeting of council for Wednesday, August 12th, 2026. I'd like to start this meeting off in a good way by acknowledging that we are gathered on the Treaty 8 First Nations territory and the long-standing elders, in the presence of the elders and the ancestors of Treaty 8, and that through this acknowledgement we extend respect and recognition of BC Treaty 8 First Nations and all of those who call the Peace Country home. Moving on to item number 3.1, I'd like to recommend that council adopt the August 12th, 2026 regular council meeting agenda. Can I get a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Whittle. Discussion regarding items on tonight's agenda. I'm going to call the question then. All those in favor? Okay, any opposed? You didn't raise your hand. Okay. That's unanimous and carried. No worries. Moving on to item number 4.1, I'd like to recommend that council adopt the minutes of the special council meeting dated July 29th, 2026. Can I get a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Johnston. Discussion. Councillor Wall. I'm doing it again.
That's okay. Change. I would just like the minutes to note that I was absent with notice, not without.
Or does it say without?
It doesn't say anything.
It says you're absent.
It just says I'm absent.
Oh, okay. We can make that change. Any other comments or? Okay. I'm going to call the question then. All those in favor? That's unanimous and carried. Okay, moving on to item number 4.2, I'd like to recommend that council adopt the July 15th regular council meeting minutes. Can I get a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Whittle. Discussion? I'm going to call the question then. All those in favor? And that's unanimous and carried. Wonderful. Introduction of late items, there's none. Public hearings, none. Delegations, none. Unfinished business and business arising from the minutes, none. Oh, moving on to item number 9, new business. We want to move 9.14, Councillor Wall.
That council adopt policy 4.14, temporary road closure as presented.
Can I get a second? Seconded by Councillor Whittle, thank you. Discussion? Councillor Wall.
Through you, Mayor, staff, is there much difference between this policy and the previous one? They appear very similar.
Mr. Malcolmson?
Your Worship, they're very similar, that's correct. The additions that were made to this one were to offer the CAO the authority to approve temporary or routine road closures like that aren't large in scope. The issue that came up recently was the bagpipe recession that went along a portion of 51st. We looked at the policy and we said, oh, they blew their notice window. They theoretically need to hand letters to every house, door to door, 10 days in advance of the event. Seemed like a fairly burdensome requirement for like a 20-minute use. So we just wrote something in here with a little bit more flexibility for us to approve in the event that their time sensitive or small in nature.
Thank you.
Councillor
So it's a policy revision, it seems like, and anyways, with the policy revision, this meets all applicable legislation regarding road safety, traffic tax, fire safety, so on and so forth, emergency access, all the requirements.
Through your worship, great question, Councillor Rabble. There is communication required with RCMP and the fire department for any significant road closure or even minor road closures in this policy. So yeah, there is a requirement for us to communicate with other jurisdictions that have a road closure.
Any other questions or comments? I'm going to call the question then. All those in favor? And that's unanimous and carried. Thank you. Moving on to item 9.2.
That council award Schedule A of RFQ 2026-03 to Parallel Projects Inc. for a lump sum price of $491,967.80, excluding GST, and further, that the Community Works Fund be authorized as funding the source for the project, and further, the council authorize up to $50,000 in additional expenditures for unsuitable subgrade remediation where required, and authorized by the village in accordance with the unit rates established through the procurement process, and further, the council authorized the chief administrative officer to execute the necessary contracted documents for paving of Elevator Road.
Can I get a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Whittle. Councillor Wall.
This is a very long way of saying we have found a contractor, It is within our budget, and we are going to pave Elevator Road if this passes.
Half.
And a correction, there'll be a budget amendment to get this work done.
Yes.
But yes, it's happening. And it was a competitive process that I'm sure Chad has a couple of gray hairs that came through it. But we worked with everybody to make sure we had apples to apples and have a fair comparison in front of you guys. And
This is 4 years in the making to even be able to do this, though. So I'm very excited.
congratulations, you guys. It's a positive step.
And a huge thank you to you, Chad, and your crew, and to Mr. Malkinson and the staff here for all the work that you guys have done.
Assassination attempt.
I know. Right when I'm thinking, though, perfect time. Yeah, so awesome job, guys. Thank you so much. I know that this has definitely taken a while, and then I knew that the contract award part of it was going to be a bit rickety with the half or full. So now this will get us, it's a little over half, isn't it? Yeah. So it kind of makes it where the majority of the driveways are paved too, or all of the driveways.
Yeah, so every driveway will have asphalt past it, so this will go right to the agriculture property.
Okay.
Driveway, past that, just past that driveway.
Just past that, okay. And then my next question is, does this amount, Chad, does this include that culvert, adding in that additional culvert?
Yes, that's correct.
It
So
does.
it does include the culvert on Elevator Road.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, so this is gonna be, there's the one that's there right now, and then the additional one.
The additional one, and then that will put us asphalt starting from there, straight
Okay.
across, so we will have a small gap, old asphalt, and then back to new asphalt, we'll do the whole shot.
Okay, good, good.
Should be a smooth transition.
And so this is covering not only the paving, but also some of that flood mitigation stuff that
Yes.
we were talking about. Now, are we using any of the amount from the flood mitigation budget to put into this? Or is this whole thing all coming from the community works fund?
There's a portion of this that's coming from your annual 250 capital
Okay.
contribution. And the remaining portion is coming from community works.
Okay, nope, that was what I was wanting to find out.
So this option, the halfway option, part of our recommendation for going 450 meters down the road as opposed to the full shot of 850 meters, is to preserve a little bit of flexibility for the village in the event something comes up.
Yeah.
It's important to council that we not dip into reserves. So the idea is that we would use, basically half or close to half of the balance of the community works funds that are available for the village, and go forward. We have that buffer, for the course of the winter in case something else comes up.
In case something comes up. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. You guys have done a great job, thank you. Yes, Councilor Mello?
Sorry, just to that point, if I may, clarification on the amount dispersed from the community works fund versus from our tax base, which would be our capital budget. Is it a ratio, or I know that we've got $1 million something in the community works fund, this is about $500,000. How much is?
The 491 is what's coming from the community works fund. It hasn't listed what's coming from the 250 for the capital, but that's included, it's not included in this price. Am I understanding that correctly, Mr. Robinson?
I can pull that up real quick. There would have been a small portion for the culvert that would have been dedicated to, is it 40 we assumed, or 30 each from the culverts? It was 30, I think. There's a portion.
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
There's a portion of the culvert itself that's included in the full value of the award here that'll be taken from your annual capital, and then the remainder will come from community works.
So, well,
In the report here, it does go a little bit into detail about it, but I'm not quite fully sure. Is the culvert that we're adding in, would that be sufficient? Is it the right culvert for if we were to go ahead with the drainage master plan that's being worked on, so that we could mitigate the flooding issues downstream of railway and elevator there?
So in terms of the drainage master plan, that was one of the plans that we reconciled with as we were developing the recommendations for drainage work for this year. So it is in alignment with that to reduce pressure on 53 or.
So this is part of that 12-year drainage plan?
Yes.
Okay, so we're not working on two sets. I just want to make sure we're not doing
Right.
this and then in a couple months, we have a plan ready to go, and it's like, well, actually, it's the wrong one, so.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah, no.
I should add additional context. We did also use a stress, Chad's stress map from, the winter of 25, to inform this too. Like, where did we see the most issues? What was the most frustrating? Where were the spots that were, steaming culverts at the most? And that also informed this location, but, yeah. And
Right size, right spot, we're doing it before we pave the road, perfect.
there are 2 more culverts that were part of a Schedule C to this procurement as well, that is within staff's authority to award. And that's the culverts on 50th, I believe, so just behind the right there, because we have consistent challenges there, but we'll be tearing up 2 sides of the intersection, I think on, is it 52 and 51?
51st Avenue and 52nd Street.
Yeah, so
By
there's.
Caribou.
Yeah, just one
No,
down.
just one down.
One closer.
One down
house.
and then over, yeah.
Over in front of the school.
No, sorry, between the highway and like the sharp corner that starts down the hill and Caribou Road.
Oh,
That
right there, that
intersection
intersection.
Yeah.
One other thing I do want to note, the culvert, I actually put in, the RFQ was bigger than recommend, like our minimum size culvert for within the village as well.
Good. Yes, Councilor Rowell.
So we're proposing doing Schedule A, staff is saying they'll do Schedule C. Schedule B is the continuation of Elevator Road. Just to play devil's advocate for a moment, I'm not saying let's go do Schedule B as well, but, if it's $491 to do, over half of it, and then it's $857 to do the full thing, is there more, just hear me out, I'm not saying let's do this, but is there more benefit to do it now? Costs are not great right now, but does that get rid of the grader in the future? The grader still has to do up near the water tower, right? Like, it doesn't get rid of that asset completely, we still are stuck with it. So, if this was the full wing neg doodle, and this was the last gravel road in the village, then we could go for it, but there's no real benefit to doing the whole bloody thing, is what I'm hearing.
No, and Councilor Whittle actually sent out an email this morning asking almost that exact same question, so I'll let Mr. Malcolmson kind of touch on that. He touched on that a bit this morning with Councilor Whittle, so.
There's a few reasons why we're recommending, that halfway option, and part of it isn't just, considerations in relation to the grader, it's also, managing risk. If we get partway through the year or, get through the winter and there's a job that, comes up that needs our prompt attention, the idea is that we don't want to fully exhaust community works funds and have to draw on reserves in order to, meet any issue that comes up. So that's one thing that comes up that's one thing that comes to mind with respect to the grader. There's a long-standing asset management, approach that we have where it's not determined or 100% certain that the grader will be replaced when it gets to the end of its life here. It's listed in our asset schedules as not necessarily going to be replaced, but the time at which it's going to not be useful to the village anymore isn't determined. It's still got some life in it. It's a 1999 unit, so it's not necessarily that it's going to keel over in the next year and oh my goodness, we'll be in hot water, right?
Yeah.
But 2 years. And you raised a very good point too, that's identified in the report, and that's, that there's that portion on 57, and there's a portion of, I think, 56 in the industrial sub that needs smooth notification as well, that Greater Slurries provides good use for. So, it doesn't get us, it moves us in the right direction to kind of simplify the fleet and, have a kind of easier operation out of Public Works, but it's not a silver bullet.
Okay. Councilor Wall?
My last question is what is the timeline for this? Is this summer here? Okay,
Yes.
perfect, even better.
Yes?
My last question, in regards to folks that live next to this road, obviously there's some plan as the work goes on as how they're able to access the property and so on and so forth, as you would with any project like this, yeah.
Absolutely.
I think we'll be more excited than anything to hear them doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Without the dust and stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, sorry. And,
You, Fibber, you said last.
well, and we met all our obligations for the hypothetical truck route that had just had a sign that had no actual documentation that it was meant to be that. Regardless, we're doing it to a standard that meets or exceeds what was existing already, right?
Exactly.
Exactly,
Okay.
yeah.
This will, this standard that we're paving it to will meet or exceed the pre-existing paved portion that's there currently now, or tying into.
Okay, so we're good. Sorry.
No worries. Okay, we call the question then. All those in favor? That's unanimous and carried. Thank you. All right, 9.3. The council support the Village of Poughkeepie's application in the Spark BC Locals Community Accessibility Grant Program for up to $20,000 towards the replacement of the wheelchair ramp and the landing at the Poughkeepie Post Office. And further, the council authorized staff to submit the grant application upon receipt of the required accessibility community support and to undertake the project should the application be successful, subject to approval, project budget, and the village's purchasing requirements. Can I get a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Whittle. That was wordy, man. Councillor Whittle?
So with this grant and stuff, so that's just to replace the ramp, like the extruded metal ramp. So what, out of curiosity, if we replace it, what are we replacing it with?
There's a slope in here.
Concrete, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe we're going for a concrete ramp that would, ramp up to the entrance there and improving some of the approach a little bit as well. So smoothing it out, maybe widening it. Basically the document that we have the RFQ, I think, basically says built to BC building code. That's the STIP anyway.
So I did a little bit of research into the accessibility side of that thing, and it doesn't really make sense to me, but the idea is if you fall on a steel grate, you could hurt yourself, or you might hurt yourself less if you fall on concrete.
It's too,
Is the idea?
it's a couple of things. It's too steep, and the grate isn't actually, it's not up to the accessibility standards anymore. Like they
It's supposed to be spiky. It's supposed to have like the.
well,
It shovels itself in the winter.
Could we get one that shovels itself over the winter?
Well, that one's metal. You just hook up 2 electrodes.
You can't get heated concrete driveways.
There we go.
Well, that's the other thing, actually. If a guy's doing concrete, it wouldn't take much to lay. It wouldn't take much, in all honesty, to lay heat trace in there and have heated concrete.
Right on.
That'd be nice. Then we gotta do it for everywhere.
When you were thinking self-shoveling, was that just like a 2x4 on a slab?
No,
With
we'll
a
just
light
get
on the thing?
what are
winch on
those
the
like,
side of town.
no, what are
Just
those
pull
like
it.
arms that the postal service uses where it's like a bad package and sweeps it?
Yeah.
We'll just get a couple of those and just whoop.
Sounds much safer.
Yeah. Yes, Councilor Rebel.
So 20,000 we're hoping from this grant. 20,000's been budgeted by the village to spend this, is my understanding, and that 20,000 from the village was already approved through a previous financial plan.
That's correct. Yeah. It was supposed to, I think it was on project list for 2025, and we're still having a hard time kind of closing it out this year. We're like, oh my gosh, we've got to get this done.
Councilor Whittle?
So this project for the I'm all for going for grant money, but that project only went up to RFQ, and if I remember correctly, all the prospective bids you got for it or inquiries were all well above budget for it, or what we had budgeted.
Your memory might be getting tied with a different procurement that we ran earlier this summer. We haven't put the procurement out for this one yet.
Oh, okay.
There was we did put feelers out a few months ago on design for the thing. Where we were wondering, how much would it be for an engineered design that we could include as part of the procurement, and that came outside of our cost range, where we said, oh shoot, that would cannibalize or eat up too much of the council's authorized budget on this. So we've kind of shifted gears, and we're going to see if we have a contractor that's willing to do a design build in accordance with the BC Building Code.
Oh, okay. And so with this 20,000 we have to put this at $40,000 budget. Is that going to be enough for design and completion?
Yes, so that's our hope. Yeah. And our hope is that we can get it done for well within budget. We've talked with a few contractors. Sorry, Chad, Chad's had the conversations more than I have.
So we do have some rough quotes on, oh yeah, I'll do it, and those we're looking at about 25,000 with them building and designing, no engineer drawings or anything. So yeah, within the 40,000, if we decide we wanna go engineer drawings, that should put us right at that 40,000 mark between the drawings and completion of work. Or we do have the option of looking and just doing an as-built and getting contractors to do the design submission as well. So.
I got a couple other questions, but that's getting into the operational and it leads too far, so I'll worry about those later.
How much planning does a ramp really need?
No, I'm thinking about, no, I'm thinking about inset concrete and freezing and thawing and breaking and handrails and my brain. See, that's where my brain's going. Like I said, I'm getting too deep into the weeds on it, so. I spent all day crawling under trailers building stuff, so.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, just one quick update. There was a circulation to the Northeast BC Accessibility Committee earlier today or yesterday, seeking a letter of support for this application as well. And yeah, it's very positive so far. Positive reception from the committee. So.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. Councilor Wong?
This is my last comment on this, for real. So I know we have to work on the post office ramp situation, because it doesn't meet code, but doing the wheelchair challenge, I discovered it was very difficult in a wheelchair to get into this building, because of that little concrete lip right at the front there. I wonder if during this process, we could, if we're already getting concrete out here, it's right across the street, it's both accessibility projects, if we could do that and fix that little piece right in front of the door right here.
Can't commit to it, but it's definitely something that would be on the radar.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
Sorry.
That is actually on the list for Public Works to at least pull this concrete slab out and re-level the ground underneath and put it back in if we can get it in one piece. So it is something we're aware of and we are trying to do here in the next few weeks before summer's gone.
Don't say those.
Yeah, so it's something we are trying to do even in-house and trying to at least get a decent fix to it.
Chad did have that as an optional schedule in the sidewalk RFP that we put out a few months ago, but the prices came in just way too high relative to budget that we just ended up with the other ones that we thought were going to be better value.
Okay. Okay, gentlemen, I'm going to call the question, and all those in favor? And that's unanimous and carried. Okay. Moving on to correspondence. Anything that you guys would like to lift? Oh, Councilor Whittle?
10.3 and 10.4 I'd like to lift.
I'd
Okay.
say 10.2 as well.
Okay. Anybody for 10.1? Alright. Okay, I make the recommendation that we receive 10.1 for information. Can I get a seconder? Seconded by Councilor Wall. Discussion? All those in favor? Okay. Alright, 10.2. Take it away there.
Councilor Johnson,
Yeah.
So
I got called up when I did.
No, it's for 10.2 on the receipt of the Community Stream First Community Works Fund payment. I appreciate that UBCM is continuing with this and that we're receiving $49,000. So I just wanted to point that out. I appreciate the work UBCM is doing and continued advocacy and partnership is what's producing these things. So yeah, I want to see us moving in the right direction.
Yeah. Is that the total payment that we received? I thought we only got like 109,000 in Community Works.
This is the payment for 2627. So this is the total amount. I could get a comparison to prior years.
Interesting. I'll look at that. Okay. Alright, any other comments or questions? Alright, you put in the recommendation and receive for information?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay.
So move.
Thank you. And seconder? Seconded by Councilor Wall. Any discussion? All those in favor? And that's unanimous and carried. Okay. 10.3.
Alrighty, just the correspondence back regarding our Pooskoopi zoning bylaws. You see the ministry made a couple recommendations in there, and can I safely assume that you guys have already looked at that and made amendments for that?
Yes. Cool. We're the only reason, well, one, we received this Monday afternoon, and we thought, I was partly thinking, oh, well, I can't get it done. But, you know, I remembered that we're still waiting for a couple of comments back from the Agricultural Land Commission. So once we have both those comments back, we'll get back to you guys for second reading.
I did my own little expedition regarding this file. So the reason we're doing the zoning bylaw change is because the Ministry of Housing said that we weren't allowing density to the minimum standard that they were requesting as per Bill 44. And now we have the Ministry of Transportation coming in and saying, well, we can't increase density without their permission within 800 meters of the highway, so whoa.
There goes half the village.
So I made a couple calls there, and when we were down in Victoria at UBCM there, those two offices share a wall.
But not communication.
But not communication. We can't have one ministry saying, we need to do this in our zoning bylaw, and then the minister 10 feet over behind an uninsulated wall, most likely, saying, well, you can't make this change. So I want to make that note there that I may have stirred the pot a little bit and been like, talk to each other.
Yeah.
Because it costs us money, and it's probably costing other communities money too, to go back and rewrite zoning bylaws and staff time. Change it back. Well, we're not even doing this for us, we're doing this for them anyways. So, anyways, I just wanted to say there's a little bit of frustration on my end about that, but I have voiced those concerns to them, so, and they seemed
Open.
somewhat receptive, and yeah.
Rabble?
So the Ministry of Transportation and Transit has responded saying, hey, our bylaw needs this and that. Is this fundamentally something we can do in-house, and it's just a couple of amendments to include references to the Transportation Act and all these bits and bobs? It's basically, hey, check with them if this is okay.
That's correct, Your Worship. Through Your Worship, that's correct.
No, he's fancy now. Yeah.
No.
Okay, Mr. Malkinson, do you need any recommendations from this table just to meet the procedure of you going forward to making those amendments?
Probably late, yeah.
Okay,
I
I'd
was
like,
gonna do it anyway, but yeah, go ahead.
if you'd like to, Councilor.
I make the motion that council direct staff to proceed with the amendments suggested by the Ministry of Transportation and Transit regarding our zoning bylaw.
May I seconder? Seconded by Councilor Johnston. Discussion.
So right now the bylaw is out for comment, and if we make amendments, do we need to start back at first reading, or is there a provision where we continue on from second reading?
You can amend between first and second.
Okay, so we'll continue on to second.
Yeah, you just can't do anything after second.
You can't amend after a public hearing, certainly.
Yeah. Yes, Councilor Whittle?
Just out of curiosity, since it seems to be the two ministries that are having a conflict with each other, can we send, once we get this done, send it to both ministries and CC them on the same email?
Oh, of course.
So we open up those lines of communication between them?
Absolutely.
So if they want to get into a he said, she said battle, we're not stuck in the middle.
Office 201 and Office 202, Legislative Assembly, BC, Government Street, there you go.
We could proceed with our own plan for the highway. If, maybe we put that in there and.
I see you've packed your humor today. That's always good. Any other comments or questions? Yes, Councilor.
I would just like to note, so going through the recommendations, there aren't any actual changes that would need to be made to the bylaw itself. The numbers all line up. The only issue they had, there's the issue about the setback along the highway. That number that they've provided is actually less of a distance from the highway than we have in our current bylaw. So I'm not sure why they would note that. I mean, if they don't build this close to the highway, that's unusual.
Your Worship, I think I read the letter from the ministry to basically encourage that your bylaw incorporate more references to MOTT approvals where needed. So for instance, the subdivision requirement, because we're within that proximity of the provincial highway, the idea is that, okay, well, the provincial approving officer might need to be involved, in the event that there's a subdivision close to a highway, which is, I think, a pretty standard, provision. A lot of these items are just, hey, can you reference that a person might need external approval in addition to the village approval? But
I still don't get it, because that only matters if you have a subdivision of more than 500 units.
Right.
And if we ever got that in Coos,
We just double the population.
I think there'd be bigger issues than we didn't get ministry approval.
Yeah. Okay, last one, and then I'm gonna call the question.
Fair. Although I understand that the Transportation Act has its requirements for setbacks and whatnot, 4.5 meters will make it extremely difficult for property owners along the highway. I know that this is already in place and there's similar things, but I'm just stating a matter of fact is if you own a piece of property and the whole 4.5 front meters are useless, right? Whereas technically under our commercial provisions, 0, you could build right up. So I understand the need to, say, hey, you need to be so far back, but that'll destroy a lot of development potential. And I know that that's already in place. I'm just saying the conversation needs to be had about the impact the highway has. It brings benefits, but it also brings issues.
Perfect. When you gentlemen are in UBCM, I expect to see you standing with the right people.
And the way I intend to address that one is basically not alter the text of any particular zone, but just to say that provincial right-of-ways are applicable in all zones that are close to the highway. So just the minimum amount that complies with the law is basically that's the sense that I would get.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting here too. Yeah.
I'm gonna call the question, gentlemen. All those in favor? And that's unanimous and carried. Thank you. Moving on to item 10.4.
Yeah, so it's a letter from the city of Dawson Creek, just a quick note confirming that they'll continue to work with us when it comes to our ESS and DOC stuff, which is great. They've been working together for a while, but we pushed that forward there a little while ago for both the regional district and the city of Dawson Creek, just kind of to reaffirm that with all the emergency management stuff that's coming up. So it's, great to see that they responded back to us and, continue to work together to benefit everybody.
Are you looking to receive that for information?
Yeah, we'll receive the information.
Can I get a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Wall.
So sorry to belabor things, but eagerly awaiting the reply from the regional district on this topic, because I think council's ask in its correspondence dated June 30th was that we endeavor towards EOC ESS agreement, which we did find a template in our research for. I think there's a sub-regional service that has EOC ESS collaboration between the regional district around Quinnell. I think it's the CRD. So anyhow, there's a few governments and regional districts that have entered into this kind of thing, and we will be excited to have a conversation when the regional district sends their note back. So thank you.
I will, want me to inquire tomorrow?
I'm sure it's in that queue.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna call the question. All those in favor? And that's unanimous and carried. Wonderful. Resolutions, none. Bylaws, none. Anything you guys want to lift off of 13.1 or 13.2? Okay, I make the recommendation that we receive 13.1 and 13.2 for information. Can I get a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Woodall. Discussion, Councillor Wall.
Unless, because we do have our Director of Public Works present, if you'd like to pull anything out of that.
It's your public works report.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, there we go.
Deer in the headlights.
It's big, you've been super busy, you're doing a fantastic job. I've heard nothing but hurrahs since the CN tracks were taken out, so thank you so much on that one.
Good stuff.
Thanks for your support on that.
I actually was like kind of joking that we should just like all go sit there and like drink tea or something, like just really take advantage of the new.
Because for our entire lives, it's always one of those, like, you're bumping over, right, always, and now you go and it's like, you come up and you're expecting that bump, and it's just like,
I keep immediately slowing down thinking I'm going to, and I'm like, oh yeah, right. Yeah, so awesome job to you and your hardworking crew, Chad. Yeah.
What's up with the dinosaur that just came out of nowhere?
Ah!
Whose sign? What's up with
This
that?
is like throwing me off. I had somebody ask me in our meeting this afternoon, and I was like, of course in my brain I was like, oh, this poor woman thinks we're Tumbler Ridge. Like it does sometimes happen, I'll have people think that we're a different place, and
Was it there this morning?
oh, it's been there for like a week or
Is it
two.
I know how I didn't notice it. Yeah,
Right
I
by
don't
the side
know
of the
that
highway.
way.
When you're going down to my place there, like right where the buffalo is there, and the Welcome
He's
Canada
got a big
thing, he's got a dinosaur
It
there.
has a
I never
plesiosaur.
It
if you
showed
wanna
up
be-
Sunday night or Monday.
I don't know, it looks cool.
I'll have to check it.
I
So we know
appreciate,
where it comes from, right?
well, it's from Codwell.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Codwell's dinosaur, for sure. I appreciate his sense of humor. I definitely find it a bit confusing, but I do,
It looks like the guy on the plow is like, cause he already has his arm up and everything, it looks like he's getting ready to fight the dinosaur.
The bulls fighting the dinosaur.
I really hope that, while it is there, people take advantage of how funny it
People
looks.
actually stop quite regularly. People stop up there and take pictures of all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
So, Tumblr Ridge is gonna think we're stealing their swag, just so you all know. If Daryl finds out, he's never gonna let me live it down.
We can hang a sign that says not Tumblr Ridge.
We almost need to. I did joke about putting a re-elect Mayor Beach in his little paws. But I don't think that that's what he's going
You
for.
know what we could do is a mile -6 post.
A mile -6.
Or 6 miles from 0.
Well, you do that to get the Dawson stuff, but you actually pivot too, and you put a sign, the unofficial entrance to the Tumblr Ridge Geopark. Got both.
That's almost funnier. I like that.
Apparently every single community's thing.
Yeah,
We'll get some kind of thing. We'll do that on April Fools.
we'll like go all the way to like the Prince George Pogo dude.
So you can start getting stuff up where you can have the dinosaur with like an egg in one hand and like some sausage in the other. Like, start stealing stuff from Alberta.
Yeah, that's
Hyper
right.
energetic city. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Village, that's right.
We don't have anything, so all of your things
We'll steal
are our
everybody else's
things.
things.
Yeah. I love it.
That tracks.
All right, John, may I call the question? All those in favor? Okay, perfect. So that leads us to 13.3, Mr. Malkinson.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just two things that I wanted to note in addition to the report. There's a few things that I've been thinking about even over the course of this meeting where I'm like, oh, I didn't throw that in the report. But there is another candidate information session happening on August 20th for folks that might be interested. Again, the idea behind these is just if you're thinking about running, as far as staff can say, here are some things that you could keep in mind to see whether or not you're interested in running for municipal office this fall. We kind of go through time commitments, through jurisdiction, we go through.
Is it at 5 p.m. again?
Yeah, 5 p.m. And and then tomorrow evening there'll be a barbecue. It's dinner. There'll be a barbecue tomorrow evening happening. Just I think it's at 5:30 it starts, but it's a volunteer appreciation barbecue. Just at the fire hall here.
Is that tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just actually, it was funny because I had started writing up a thing to share it just before the meeting started, and then we were in the meeting and I was like, oh no, I didn't share it. I've shared it now, which probably looks terrible, but I knew I was going to forget.
Yeah.
So yes, tomorrow evening, gentlemen, we have invited all of our volunteer boards.
5:30 p.m.
5:30, yeah, come on out, it's at the fire hall. And it's just to give appreciation to all of our hardworking volunteers in our community. If you know any, make sure you reach out to them, call them, and make sure that they know so that we can have an opportunity to say thank you.
And at the same time, Your Worship will be having a table for the hazard risk vulnerability assessment folks from the Petersburg Regional District. And we won't have the park done, unfortunately, at that exact time. But I did invite the crew that's pouring the place rubber to join in for the barbecue tomorrow night too. So
Why not?
they're not exactly.
What, the park's not going to be done tomorrow?
I wouldn't exactly call them volunteers, but they are. Maybe they'll have some insights to share about what we can expect with the park, and folks might be able to kind of take a look and see how it's shaping up, which is it's very close.
It's so close. You know, if it quit raining, it would be even closer. The guy can't control the weather.
Chad can control the weather.
Chad, that's so cool. Yeah, okay, perfect. No, everything's looking good. I'm excited. Okay, I make the recommendation we receive for information. Can I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Woodall. All those in favor? That's unanimous and carried. Okay, councillors' reports. Councillor Johnston, what you been up to? You haven't even been here.
I've been unavailable.
Yeah, you've been-
America,
Yeah, you've been gone. Well, I'm glad you made it back safe and sound. That's the important part. Councillor Rattle?
Nothing related to council. Thank you.
Okay, no worries.
Sorry.
Councillor Wall, you've been working.
I've been working like crazy, but I've also been busy doing council stuff.
Oh!
Ooh.
Yeah, you've been stirring
Stop
the
it,
pot, I
beef,
just
yeah.
know it.
I haven't served.
Yeah,
That's okay, that's okay. Sometimes it's alright. But, okay, so, I attended the council info session, I think Doug did a really good job on presenting, the obligations that take place and the time commitments and those things in a very neutral way, talking about what is a local government's responsibility versus what's the province and what's the feds, all these sorts of things. I think you did awesome on that. I did attend the Ovintiv barbecue, and I got to speak with some of them about the future plans and projects that are going to be taking place around the village in the next 3 to 5 years. It looks like there's going to be some work going on around us. It might not necessarily affect us, but people might start seeing a little bit more activity on the south side of town and the east side of town here going forwards, as well as that pipeline that's going to be coming through, and it is just north of Highway 4.
And what pipeline is that?
That is the Pooskoopi pipeline.
Right, the Pooskoopi pipeline.
It is.
They say, really show to them, asking them to meet.
Mm-hmm. Haven't heard anything yet, eh?
And now that, but the
You
scope of
can't
that.
name your pipeline after us and then refuse to meet us for
Named
coffee.
after the
Whatever.
Let's name it.
It's named after the Pooskoopi family if you want to go deep.
Potentially, this project could turn into something quite a bit bigger than it looks at the moment, because the new proposed Northern Shield project that's starting in Edmonton and going all the way to Ontario, that they need to get natural gas fed from Grand Prairie, and this will be the line that feeds it from Grand Prairie. So this could potentially end up being the very northern and westernmost portion of that Northern Shield pipeline, if that's ever. So there is the potential for future things going on there, just so the public's aware. I was in contact with our MLA and MP regarding our land rights resolution. There has been some changes where the province is negotiating over land in Victoria. However, that land that is being currently negotiated on is under treaty, the first Douglas Treaty of 1846.
Okay.
So if that goes through, the precedent could be that even treaty land is on the table.
Okay.
So anyways, good to know. A couple of communities, a couple people from other communities, a little bit concerned about that, asking about the resolution, and I think we'll be seeing some support at UBCM.
Yeah, I think we'll probably see a lot of really interesting conversations around it as well, which I'm actually really looking forward to.
I am as well, especially now that what's going on down there is, maybe land may have been ceded under treaty, but is it is still a possibility that it could change. So it doesn't really seem like anything's off the table at this time. And I don't want to make any assumptions on that. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. I'm just relaying what I've been hearing. So anyways, been dealing with that. And I think we'll see some interesting conversations and some good support in September.
Okay, that's it. All right, sounds good. You've been busy? Okay, Councilor Riddle.
I attended the information session there last Wednesday, and yeah, had a special meeting last week that we're supposed to have, and then I missed the text message that it got canceled until 15 minutes after, which is my bad. I was going 16 different directions, and I looked at it, but it just didn't register in my brain. So yeah, no, that's about all I've done. Do need to here later this month. Now that things have calmed down, I do need to reach out to the RCMP again and touch base with them now that things have kind of calmed down for them a bit, and then I need to reach out to Les Open Museum again because I haven't talked to him in about a month.
Sounds good. Okay. Yeah, I've met with staff last week, just did our usual kind of check and see how things are going. I attended the Ovintiv barbecue at the fairgrounds. Had a great conversation with the Ovintiv team about some funding for our phase 2 park development. Looks like I'm going to hopefully have a $10,000 coffee with Adam, so I'm going to invite him out. I love that saying. I'm stealing it. So I'm gonna try to get Adam to come on out and ha ha ha. Yeah, maybe. And I explained how we finished phase 1, but we're planning phase 2 for next summer, which is a replacement of the slides, some more groundwork, and then repainting of the original structure. So he's really interested in looking at that. I then attended the Treaty 8 barbecue that was on Thursday. That went really, really well. Just kind of connected with some of our Treaty 8 neighbors as well as other communities that were there. And then on the 8th, I was with the food bank. I did the race against hunger. Oh, and then the Friday, I was in the Fall Fair Parade wearing my PRD hat. So it was me and our PRD guys. But I was so happy to see that Duncan organized a couple of our public works guys and put our truck in the Fall Fair. So a huge thank you to Mr. Melkinson and our staff for showing up and representing Coos, because I know you were there for search and rescue. I was there for the PRRD. We were dividing and conquering on that day, and that was the most important. So huge thank you to you and Chad and stuff for representing Coos Scoopy. So then on Saturday I did the race against hunger with the Pooskippi Food Bank. We were the Pooskippi Pink Ladies. We were in costume and everything. Went really, really well. We had a lot of fun. We had a new volunteer come in and help us run, and she was like, that's an extremely intense event, which it generally is. And with that, we ended up getting almost 6 truckloads of food donated to the food bank, which was huge. So I was at the food bank till 8:30 at night, unloading it all. So it was fantastic. Yeah. There are they like lighting?
No, it's the generator.
Smoke machine going.
Oh, thank you.
Because that's a lot of smoke out
That's a
there.
lot of smoke. That's what I was pointing at earlier.
I was like, who's carrying out Blair? I'm just
Got a barbecue going.
Screw the 12 o'clock.
yeah. And then this week I've met with staff just to do a regular check-in. Today we had a meeting with BC Hydro regarding plans for the Site E is what they're kind of going around talking about. So they came today for their first conversation. They're at the PRD tomorrow in the open session, so I was comfortable saying that they came and spoke with myself and Mr. Malkinson. As they get closer to consultation, I'm definitely going to have them come out and meet with all of council and probably do a presentation so that you guys can ask questions and stuff. They're just right at the very beginning, and I knew a lot of the questions that you have they wouldn't have answers to yet, so I thought I would wait. And then, other than that, I've been moving. My house is sold, so it's sold within 10 days, and now I'm moving into my new house in Pooskippi, so I've been super, super, super busy. I'm still like, I got paint all over me from painting, but yeah, it's been really, really good. Whatever, a little bit of paint. Exactly, okay, so, question period. You're the only person here to have any questions regarding today's agenda? Okay, well, thank you for coming. All right, well then I make the recommendation that we recess to a closed meeting as per section 91C of the community charter. Can I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Johnston. All those in favor? And that's unanimous and carried. We'll take a 10-minute break and then we'll close. Thank you.